I think I've reviewed more pairs of new Yeezy models or new Yeezy silhouettes in the last 2 months than I think I've ever reviewed on the channel, ever. And it looks like before the end of the year, we're gonna review one more. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm reviewing the brand new Adidas YEEZY Basketball KNIT. You know, even though this shoe is technically a brand new Yeezy silhouette, it really does feel a lot like a mashup of two different already released Yeezy silhouettes. But hey, you know what? I don't think that's a bad thing. I think overall, this is a pretty exciting new basketball performance sneaker. Speaking of that, I should say that this review is not in any way a performance basketball review. This review is purely a lifestyle review. I have not had time to play in this shoe. I probably may never play in this shoe just because I can't remember the last time I actually was able to go to a basketball court at a gym. So while I might make some uninformed assumptions about the performance aspects of this shoe, this is purely a lifestyle review and it should be treated as such. With that being said, let's talk about how you can grab a pair of the Adidas YEEZY Basketball KNIT. So while the shoe's official release date is December 18th for a retail price of $300, this shoe has actually had a much smaller shock drop on Yeezy Supply back in the end of November. And for some reason, even though this is a brand new Yeezy silhouette, which usually garners a lot of attention, the hype just does not seem to be there for this shoe. Which I guess in a way is actually a really good thing, because that means you can grab a pair of these before their official release date on GOAT for around retail. Granted, retail price is still $300, so it's not a cheap shoe, but you can grab these guys for around $300. And if you guys would like to do that, I've left an affiliate link to GOAT in the top of the description below. But before we dive any deeper into the sneaker itself, let's take a quick look at the box. And I feel like when I said that, I heard a collective groan of all the people who watch these videos who hate the box reviews. But to be honest, if you're gonna grab a pair of these and you wanna make sure that the pair that you're grabbing is in fact legit, it is always good to know what you're getting both in the shoe and in the box. So I make sure to always go over the boxes of shoes that are newer models or shoes that have special boxes. So diving into this box, the actual shape of this box is almost identical to that of a Yeezy 350 box, and so is the materials and the color blocking. On the top of the box, you've got the word basketball printed in sort of a dark grayish brown color. You know what? I used to make fun of these shoes not having vowels in their names, but then I thought about it and I realized the sock brand that I started, Apothecary, also doesn't have vowels in the name except for the A. So really, I've been a hypocrite for the last year and a half. So I really love this basketball text. I think it's really legible, easy to read, and it really makes you understand exactly what you're getting with this shoe. On one side of the box, you've got knit printed instead of your standard Boost text. And then of course, on one end of the box, you've got the size tag. I went with a size 9 because I always grab my true size whenever I'm reviewing a new model, just to see how the fit actually is. And the official colorway of this shoe is slate blue, slate blue, slate blue. But getting back into it, the first thing that really caught my attention about this shoe when I first saw images of it online was how much this shoe looks like a mashup of the Yeezy Quantums and the Yeezy 350 V2 Compacts. In fact, from what I can tell, the midsole and the outsole of this shoe is almost identical to that of the Quantums. It's not exactly the same, but it's very, very close. Not only that, but when you look at this shoe up next to the recently released 350 V2 Compacts, you'll notice that the knit pattern and the overall shape of the upper is very, very similar. In fact, the Compacts kind of look like this shoe, except without that sock-like upper. And while I don't think this shoe is actually a mashup, I think they designed these two shoes alongside each other, and so this is more of a collection than really a combination of two different shoes. It is very interesting that they decided to go for a super organic knit upper versus what they were doing on the Quantums, which is more of a structured upper. That said, almost 2 years after the Quantums first debuted in the beginning of 2020, that shoe still hasn't become an on-court performance go-to. People don't really wear that shoe too often on court, and that really makes me wonder, is this follow-up to that shoe supposed to be an on-court performer or supposed to be sort of a performance lifestyle shoe? However, unlike the Quantums, there are players at Kanye West's brand new Donda Academy basketball players who wear this shoe on court. In fact, I think all of the players on that team actually play in this shoe, which makes sense because of course this is Kanye West's performance basketball shoe. It's also his academy, so of course they play in this shoe. And you're not going to hear them talk bad about this sneaker because it's obviously the person who started the school's sneaker. So while we might not hear an unbiased opinion of the performance aspects of this shoe from those players, it is good to see that there are people playing in this shoe competitively, which means that this shoe is actually workable as a performance basketball sneaker. But actually getting into the sneaker itself, let's take a deep dive look at the upper. So starting off from the toe of the sneaker, you've got a very similar knit to what you find on the Yeezy 350 V2 Compacts. I'm pretty sure this is a very similar variant, if not the same 3D knit that they use on the Compacts. The base color of the knit comes in sort of a dark gray or black, and woven alongside that knit you also have some lighter gray, which I believe is actually reflective threads. Which, and I'll get to this later, is really interesting because one of the reasons that the Quantums were never really used on the NBA court is because there was too much 3M on them, and apparently there's a rule against having too much reflective material on your shoes in the NBA. So it's interesting to me me that this shoe is almost entirely reflective, which pretty much bars it from being worn in the NBA unless there's a special PE edition, which actually wouldn't surprise me if they made something like that, so I guess it's not that crazy of a thought. Something that really separates the knit on the basketballs from the compacts is that unlike the compacts that have a very sort of textured knit, the knit that they use on the basketballs, while it does have some bumps and lumps as you move towards the midfoot of the shoe, around the toe is very, very smooth and very flat. Not only that, but while they apparently use the same knit on both of these shoes, the knit on the compacts feels a lot softer and a lot stretchier, and the knit on the basketballs feels a lot stiffer, and it actually feels like there's some sort of like almost plasticky feeling substrate underneath to give the shoe more structure. Which would make sense because again, this is a performance basketball sneaker and not so much a lifestyle shoe, so there are going to be more performance details on this shoe than there would be on the lifestyle compacts. As you move back in the shoe, you'll notice that the knit gets a little bit more complex, it's got a little bit more texture, and you've also got these sort of bumps that I'm assuming act as almost a makeshift midfoot cage. And actually, this portion of the shoe looks almost identical to that on the 350 compacts. As with the compacts, you have these sort of knit lace loop eyelets that run up the sides of the tongue, and because this shoe is designed to be sort of a sock-like booty construction, where the tongue would be, you've actually got this black and blue sort of really stretchy knit material. Then weaving through the eyelets, you've got these thick black rope laces that run almost the entire way up the shoe, and unlike the compacts, this shoe actually has lace tips because this shoe just has a standard set of laces, which makes a lot of sense because when you're playing basketball, you want to be able to customize the fit of your shoe by tightening the laces however you want, which is not something you can do on that sort of pull lacing system that you have on the 350 compacts. That being said though, the laces are incredibly long and you get a very thick bow whenever you try and tie your laces on this shoe. It's kind of a weird look, but hey, I guess it works and allows you to really tighten down on the laces. Then continuing back in the shoe, you get to one of the most eye-catching details of the Yeezy Knit Basketball, or the Yeezy Basketball Knit. I always forget what it's called, and that's the sock-like ankle collar. Now come on, you guys know me, I love socks, I own a sock company, but I don't always love socks attached to shoes. And while I don't think this looks bad, it kind of makes the shoe pretty difficult to get your foot into. I've actually heard a lot of people say that aesthetically they don't like this ankle collar area, and while honestly I don't mind it because unless you're wearing shorts, which I guess you would be wearing if you were playing basketball in this shoe, you're not going to see this because your pant leg is going to cover this up. But again, I didn't think that through when I said that because you will always be wearing shorts in this shoe if you're playing basketball in this shoe. So there's that. I guess it's all a preference thing, but the outer material of this ankle sock area is the same sort of knit that you find in the center of the tongue portion of the shoe. However, when you actually look inside the ankle area, you'll notice that there is a ton of padding around your ankle bone that actually runs almost the entire way down the heel of the shoe. And while yes, it feels great against your foot when your foot is actually in the shoe, it makes it almost impossible to get the shoe onto your foot. It's literally a challenge to get this shoe on. It's crazy. And sure, I get it. When you're wearing a shoe for basketball, you want the best lockdown possible, and this absolutely gives you great lockdown because, I mean, once you get your foot in, it takes a minute to get your foot back out. But it almost seems excessive, the amount of force that you actually have to use to get your foot into the shoe. In fact, I think I actually stretched out the knit trying to get the shoe onto my foot. I don't think it was always this wrinkled. Maybe it was, I'm not sure, but it really felt like I was gonna rip the shoe in half when I was trying to get it on my foot. Also, I'd like to talk about the insole of the shoe, but I'm having trouble actually getting it out, so I don't know what it looks like. Almost got it. I'm gonna rip it, I think. Okay, I can't get it all the way out, but here it is. The insole of the shoe comes in black. It seems like a standard Yeezy insole, and it looks like you've got the Adidas and Yeezy branding printed on the heel in sort of a white or cream color. I don't know how I'm gonna get this back into the shoe, but we're gonna figure it out. It almost feels like when you put your hand in there, like the shoe is just eating your hand and you're never gonna be able to get it back out. It feels like a cast, actually. Oh my gosh, I think I'm stuck. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but genuinely this shoe is very, very difficult to get on. Which again, could be seen as a plus or a minus depending on whether you're wearing the shoe for lifestyle wear or for performance basketball wear. But at this point in the review, let's talk about fit. And yes, while this shoe is hard to get on, once you actually get it on your foot, it doesn't fit that bad. Now I will say for lifestyle wear, you will absolutely want to go up a half size, maybe a whole size in this shoe if you have wider feet. For basketball, if you have regular width or narrow width feet and you like a very snug fit, you might want to go true to size because if you get this shoe true to size, it's not coming off when you're playing ball. I can guarantee you that, which honestly was probably the reason for this design. But if you want to wear this shoe for lifestyle wear at all, I would definitely recommend going up at least half a size. And of course, as always, I definitely recommend trying this shoe on first before you buy it, which I understand is a difficult ask for a new Yeezy silhouette, but if you have the opportunity to do it, definitely do it to make sure that you're grabbing the right size for you. Plus, if you grab this shoe in a larger size, you might not have as hard of a time getting this shoe on as I had getting this shoe on in my true size. Comfort-wise though, the shoe is pretty comfortable. The upper is incredibly well padded because, again, it is a performance basketball sneaker. The padding can feel a little bit oppressive at times, like it really sort of presses down on your foot and you feel a lot of pressure around the outside of your foot, but honestly that'll probably loosen up the more that you wear or play in this shoe. Of course, because this shoe is a Boost sneaker, it features a full-length Boost midsole, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the review, but it feels very similar underfoot to the Quantums. So as far as comfort goes, although the shoe looks like the Yeezy 350 V2 Compacts, it's nowhere near as comfortable. It's not bad, but it's not as comfortable as this shoe at all. Then continuing back in the shoe, you've got more of that black knit and that reflective gray knit, and the knit pattern changes up from this sort of organic pattern to this more linear pattern as you move towards the heel, in almost the exact same way that it does on the 350 V2 Compacts. Then once you get to the heel of the shoe, you'll notice a design detail that was taken directly off the Quantums, and that's this reflective black heel counter. So this stiff plastic heel counter does have a little bit of give around where your foot actually rests inside the shoe, but as you move down on the sneaker towards the actual midsole and sole of the sneaker, it gets much stiffer and there really isn't any give at all. It did offer some nice lockdown though, which I guess is a good thing, and you didn't get a lot of lateral movement, so you weren't sliding around in the footbed of the shoe. So there are definitely pluses to this part of the shoe, but personally I like a heel that you can feel a little bit more of the cushion in, because honestly there is a lot of cushion in there. There's a whole bunch of boost in there, but you can't really feel it that much. Moving forward and down towards the midsole of this shoe, you've got this semi-translucent matte rubber. This matte rubber just encases the Boost midsole and prevents it from feeling too squishy underfoot and allows you to not have, again, too much lateral movement. And visually, I don't mind the way that it looks. I'm glad that they didn't opt for the sort of 350 ribbed midsole that they went for on this shoe, because I feel like it would have made the entire sneaker feel too busy. To be fair though, they haven't really used that ribbed midsole on any other silhouette other than the 350s and the 750s, but because the upper of this shoe is so similar to the Compacts, I wouldn't have been surprised. Finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this semi-translucent herringbone rubber outsole, which I'm sure actually has some pretty nice grip to it. It's also the exact same outsole that you find on the Yeezy Quantum, so it probably performs the exact same way. Overall, the Adidas YEEZY Basketball Knit is a pretty solid improvement over the Yeezy Quantum, at least visually and in my opinion. Performance-wise, I don't know if the shoe is any better on court than the Quantums. I would assume that it is because it's a newer version, they've had 2 years to perfect it, and people are actually playing in this shoe. That being said, the fit of this shoe is definitely funky unless you like a super snug fit, and overall, I don't see myself wearing this shoe really for lifestyle wear over this sneaker. What's crazy though is that when I actually wear this shoe with a pair of like sweatpants or long pants, I actually really dig the way this sneaker looks. I'm not really a fan of the way that this shoe looks when you're wearing shorts, but when you're wearing it with long pants to sort of cover up this ankle collar area, I think it looks amazing. In fact, I think I like the bottom half of the slate blue basketball knit colorway better than the bottom half of the slate blue compacts. I feel like it's just a better looking sneaker. I do have to say though that I think the price point of $300 is really steep for this shoe. If you're trying to grab a great performance basketball sneaker, you can grab great basketball shoes for like $120, $150, and those are just full retail pairs. You can grab great pairs on sale for like $100. So unless your goal is to stunt on people on the court in your brand new Yeezy basketball sneakers, or if you just like the way that these sneakers look and you want to wear them for lifestyle wear, I wouldn't recommend grabbing these. But now I would love to know your thoughts on the Adidas YEEZY Basketball Knit and whether this is a shoe that you're planning to pick up when they officially release on December 18th. So make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.